I learned everything I know about survival with them dudes you looking at right there. It's my mama's house.
My opponent is the audience. My job is to beat them up as bad as I can, and I'm just beating them up with jokes instead of gloves, man.
He's one of the most recognizable faces on television. Every day, millions watch him smile. They laugh with him. They trust him. But what they don't see is the man who once cried himself to sleep in a car. This is a story about transformation, about a man who turned laughter into an empire. Tailored suits, viral speeches, $1 billion presence. But behind the cameras, behind the charisma, was a life built on silence, on struggle, on years of being completely alone. So the real question isn't how he became successful. It's this. How does someone go from washing in gas station sinks to standing on the biggest stages in the world? What does it cost to chase a dream so big it breaks everything around you? And when you finally make it, what happens when you slip? Before we get there, we need to go back to a boy and a single sentence written on a piece of paper. I want to be on TV. Steve Harvey was born in 1957 in Welch, West Virginia, a place carved out of hardship. Steep mountains, coal dust in the air, a future that didn't ask what you dreamed, only how much you could endure. His father, Jesse Harvey, was a coal miner, a man who worked underground so his family could live above it. $5 a day, that's what he earned. Not wealth, not comfort, but something else. Discipline. He taught Steve one rule. You show up, you work, you don't complain. His mother, Eloise, was the opposite force. Warm, faith-driven. A Sunday school teacher who filled the house with gospel and hope. From her, Steve learned something different. When everything else fails, you pray. Those two forces, discipline and faith, would become the foundation of everything he built. But outside that home, life was not kind. And Steve's biggest battle wasn't poverty. It wasn't racism. It was his own voice. Before he became one of the fastest talkers in entertainment, Steve Harvey could barely speak. A severe stutter, the kind that traps your thoughts behind your teeth. Imagine your mind racing, ideas firing at full speed, but your mouth refusing to cooperate. Every word a fight. Every sentence a risk. So he adapted. He became quiet. He watched people, studied them. Facial expressions, body language, tone. Not because he wanted to be funny, because he had no choice. Silence trained him. It sharpened his instincts, turned him into an observer long before he became a performer. But kids don't understand struggle. They mock it. They gave him a nickname. They laughed when he tried to speak. And that laughter, it sticks. It doesn't fade. It follows you for decades. Then came the moment. The one that could have killed the dream before it even started. 6th grade. A simple assignment. What do you want to be when you grow up? Most kids wrote safe answers. Police officer, firefighter, something realistic. But Steve, he wrote something dangerous. I want to be on TV. When the teacher saw it, she didn't encourage him. She exposed him. She stood him in front of the class and tore the dream apart. You? On TV? You can't even talk. You're from here. Be realistic. The class laughed. And not the kind of laugh you forget. The kind that brands you forever. She told him to rewrite it, to choose something possible. He went home, broken. But instead of changing it, he showed it to his father. Jesse looked at the paper, then at his son, and said one sentence. Put that in your drawer and look at it every day. That was it. No speech, no lecture, just belief. And sometimes that's all it takes. But belief doesn't pay bills. Life moved on. The family relocated to Cleveland. The stutter faded. But direction? Gone. Steve drifted. College? Failed. Factory job? Fired. Insurance? Quit. Carpet sales? Failed. Mailman? Temporary. By his mid-20s, he wasn't a star. He wasn't even close. He was just another man trying to survive. Married, struggling, feeling the weight of a life going nowhere. 27 years old. In entertainment, that's late. Too late, most would say. But pressure does something strange. It either crushes you or forces you to jump. The suggestion was simple. You're funny, try comedy. No training, no experience, no safety net. Just a stage, a mic, and a lifetime of observations. He stepped onto the stage at Hilarities in Cleveland, and something happened. The stutter disappeared. The fear disappeared. For the first time, he was free. And that freedom? Addictive. In 1985, he made the decision, the one that changes everything. He quit his job. No backup plan, no savings, just belief. And immediately, everything collapsed. Gigs were inconsistent. Money was almost nothing. The tension at home exploded. Arguments, distance, silence. Then divorce. And just like that, everything was gone. Family, home, stability. All that remained was a car. Homelessness isn't instant. It's gradual. First a motel, then one night in the car, then two, then years. 1986, 1987, 1988. 3 years living inside a Ford Tempo. That car became everything. Bedroom, kitchen, closet. He built systems to survive. An igloo cooler for food, gas station bathrooms for showers, a rear-view mirror for shaving. And every night, he put on a suit. That's the part that breaks you. Because on stage, he looked successful, confident, powerful. He made people laugh for 45 minutes straight. But when the show ended, he walked out the back door, got into his car, and slept in the cold. Applause on one side, silence on the other. A double life. Then came the night. Florida. No money, no food, no gas. He performed anyway. Destroyed the room. Went to get paid and was told, "Come back next week." He walked out, sat in his car, and broke. Cried until he couldn't breathe. Prayed. Not politely, desperately. "If you're real, get me out of this." That was the moment, the lowest point, where quitting feels like relief. But he didn't quit. Because when you've already lost everything, there's nothing left to go back to. 1989. A phone call. Showtime at the Apollo. An audition. No money to get there. But this was it. The door. He borrowed. Begged. Made it to New York. Walked onto that stage, and everything changed. The same man who slept in a car now controlled the toughest crowd in America. He didn't ask for approval. He demanded it. And he got the job. 7 years. Hosting Apollo. Money. Visibility. Momentum. Then came television. Then the kings of comedy. Then the arenas. Then the suits. Then the empire. The man who once washed in gas stations now commanded thousands. But success brings a new problem: staying there. By the 2000s, the wave slowed, shows ended, tours faded, and most careers die here. But Steve adapted. Radio, advice, connection, then the book, then the explosion, then Family Feud. And suddenly, he wasn't just funny, he was trusted. This isn't just a success story. It's a cost analysis. Because behind every win, there's something you lose: time, family, comfort, maybe even pieces of yourself. Steve Harvey didn't just become successful. He survived. And that's the difference. Because the world sees the suits, the smiles, the success, but they don't see the car,